Welcome to another episode of Good Cooking. And today we're making one of my favorites because it combines my two favorite activities, eating and drinking. It's vodka sauce. All right, Ben, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put my little stovetop here on low, medium, in between low and medium, medium. And then I got my Graza oil. Okay, I'm not taking you through that again. We've done that 1,000 times. I'm just gonna coat the pan with a little olive oil. I have your favorite butter. Nice. That was nice. Nice and subtle.
Yeah, it was a
I
good
like
one.
that one.
Oh, okay, good volume.
I do like that one. I did like that one. All right, so we're just gonna throw that butter right in there. Let that melt down a little bit. Look at this beautiful pan I got. Thanks to Lindsay. A little made in. Hopefully they become a sponsor of ours and start dropping off pallets of tools in the driveway. That would be really nice. What do you got here? I got a little chopped yellow onion. You don't want to get these too brown. You want to just give a little bit of color, sweat them down a little bit. That's a little term, sweat them down. And then we're gonna throw in our garlic. I don't like to throw in the garlic right away because that's gonna cook up a little bit faster. So we're gonna get the onion going in there. Ben, are you a big fan of vodka pasta?
Never had it.
No, stop.
Never had it.
Finish it. We gotta move along here. We can't hear your sob stories about how you ate granola. So we're moving along. I got my garlic here. Let's give it a little stir. 3 or 4 cloves. If you wanna use more, you do whatever you want. That's what I used. And I minced them up. Boom, right in there. The water should boil by 2028, which will be good.
What are you drinking?
Today I got a little Pinot Noir, and I'm loving it. I'm just enjoying it. No hard liquor tonight. Not yet.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Isn't that the whole point of tonight is hard liquor?
No. Shooting nights I don't do the hard liquor.
Yeah,
Yes, I
but
do.
this dish is hard liquor.
That's you're right. I'm gonna get my fix there. By the way, the thing that I love about the vodka dish, when I worked in catering, I'll never forget, because vodka pasta, vodka sauce is a big thing in catering. And I remember serving it to this one guy, and about 5 minutes later, he calls me over. He goes, "Hey, pal, come here. I don't taste the vodka." I hope that guy got gout and lost a leg.
I guarantee you he got gout and lost a leg.
What an idiot. Queens. Onions, garlic, and butter. It's a smell that just...
How have you not made that into a cologne yet?
I actually want to just take this when it cools and dab it behind the ears.
Who's stopping you?
That's what I'm looking for.
I mean, it's what you smell like most of the time anyway.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I did have that problem growing up. There was a lady who was like a second grandmother to me who lived down the block, Betty Breslin. Wonderful woman. She made the most phenomenal, and I mean phenomenal, garlic bread. And I used to come home and I could burn the eyebrows off my family to the point where I would go to sleep, I would close my door, and my mom would wake me up to go to school in the morning, and she would walk in and go, oh my God. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Did you have garlic at Betty's last night again? I go, yes, I did. She goes, you can't do that anymore. You're hurting the family. You're hurting the family. See, it's not quite brown. You don't want it brown. Got our tomato paste. Enhances the flavor, gives it a little bit more richness. Also can thicken things up here a little bit. Once we get this a little bit more browned up, guess what's coming into play?
More butter?
No.
Oh.
The old bop-a-da-boop.
The bop-a-da-boop.
The bop-a-da-boop.
Yep.
Everybody thinks the bop-a-da-boop is a big player in this, but it's gonna go in there and burn off. So another great story here is I'm working in the restaurant as a kid, and the owner, hanging out with him about 2 years ago, and he tells the story. The first time I heard this story, he is convinced he created penne alla vodka in Manhattan in 1977. He said, Gary, let me ask you a question. Before 1978, did you ever see f***ing penne alla vodka on a menu? I go, well, 1, I was born in 81, so no. Number 2, I don't know if it was invented on First Avenue in Manhattan, but I don't want to argue. All right, so once you get it like this, you got that color, we're gonna add the vodka. Little deglazing here. You ready, Ben? About 3-4 minutes. Let this cook off. You don't have to have your stove top too hot. Ready, Ben? Rolling boil. We're gonna add salt. I got a different salt over here. I got a nice Maldon salt for finishing and cooking and putting in that. But when you want to do the pasta water, I use a little bit of a cheaper brand. You know why?
Why?
Budget cuts. Anyway, let's get this nice and salty like the sea. All right, Ben, we're going in. Stir your pasta, baby. You got a little pasta water, you got your pasta going. You wanna loosen this up, deglaze it a little bit, just add a little water to it like that. And remember, always save your pasta water because that will help to loosen it up should your sauce get a little bit thick as you're cooking it. Listen, you can even freeze some of this pasta water, use it later for other things. I don't know, whatever, maybe a little dab underneath the eyes, I don't know. But anyway, what I got here is, my tried and true, my little San Marzano tomatoes peeled. I got a whole can of that. I wash it out with a little water, put it in there. I put them in my bowl, and then I take my hands. You gotta get them nice and crushed down. You could just put them in there, let them cook down in there, but I personally like them when you crush them with your hands because you don't get too many chunks of the tomato, and I'm putting it right in my little baby over here. I'm gonna add a little pinch of salt and pepper, and I got this on a lowish heat. You're gonna let this simmer for about 15, 20 minutes. Let's see how I feel about this, Ben. And another one, like DJ Khaled says. Okay, so I got about a cup of heavy cream here. What I suggest you do, because you people like to get a little crazy, is add it a little bit, see if you get to the color you want, and then you can stop. But if you add too much and it gets a little too much, you can't take it out. So let's add a little bit, see how we feel. I got it on a low simmer here, and I'm going to see if I start to get the color. That's looking pretty good to me. Maybe I don't need the full cup. All right, Ben, sauce is ready. Little Radiatori is al dente, so let's start scooping it in. Never drain them, just put it right in there. You ready, Ben? Let's go, baby. I love this little pasta because all that sauce gets into those little nooks and crannies. Woo, you're gonna love this. All right, so I like to turn my stove off when I grate cheese in here, but got the really nice Parmesan Reggiano. How about that, Ben?
Delightful.
All right, once you got that all done, you're ready to plate up. With the kids back in school and fall is here, what better thing to do than to make a nice big bowl of family pasta. And vodka sauce, let me tell you something, it's easy, it's delicious, and when that goes right in the middle of the table, no one's gonna be disappointed, trust me. This is a delight, and I suggest you make it on the regular. If you want the recipe, as always, it's in the description below. And from our house to yours, bon appetit. You got any more fish in the pond? Oh yeah, we do. Look at this. Deadliest Catch. Favorite show, by the way. Season 21.
Still?
I'm on season 21, episode 2. And I have to tell you, I've watched all 20 seasons. And I'm going to tell you that season 1, episode 1, and season 21, episode 1 are identical. Nothing has happened different.